just got it set up here. So just give me a call in a second, okay? Okay, I'll talk to you in a second. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Yeah. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, you. Okay, I was just talking to him. He's supposed to call me back here in a second. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, I'll get it going up here. Yeah, thanks, mate. Hey, did you say you could hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, thanks. Bye. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Hello?
They can hear you. I don't think it matters if they can hear you.
No, it's something that I like to do. You know. Welcome to Salt Lake City, Utah, home of your Westminster Griffins, as we're tied 0-0 here with about 27 minutes left to play here in half number one, as Griffins are hosting the Regis Rangers, coming into town 2-2-1, 1-0-1 in the RMAC so far this year, as the Rangers are looking to get their second conference win of the year, just like the Westminster Griffins, as the Griffins have had a terrific preseason as they went 4-0 in preseason play, and they are the same record as Regis entering today's matchup in a good game, as both teams are trailing MSU Denver and Colorado Mines, who are 2-0 to start the year here in the RMAC season. As Westminster looking to strike here first. As they try to get over to Dorelli, couldn't get it to him. As we had a couple technical difficulties to start this first half, we apologize for that. As we're back here live on the RMAC Network once again. As last weekend, Westminster tied here with Dixie State, and then they went and put up a touchdown on Colorado Christian in a 7-0 victory last Sunday. As again, this game starts off a 4-game homestand for the Griffins, as they're looking to continue their winning ways. There's a delay here on the field for a moment as we wait for the officials to give the signal. As the clock stops at 26:06. And there's a whistle being blown, and we're back to action here on Dumpke Field, brand new turf put in this year. As one of the first preseason games, we saw Meat Heifer strike a hat trick right here on this field. And then Danny Dorelli's been on a tear to start this season for the Griffins. As another penalty goes against the Rangers. Griffins gets the ball just past midfield. As again, if you're watching us on Stretch Internet, home of the Westminster Griffins, or on the Griffins YouTube channel, WC Griffins, we appreciate you guys stopping by from east to west, north to south, and making us part of your day, as Adir Hazat just missed that one wide with a shot. As in goal for the Rangers, number 0, Nick Moyer, the sophomore goalkeeper from Rockhurst High School in Lakewood, Missouri. And on the other end, Max Medley gets the start for Westminster. Taken away once again by Marshall. Kick to the right side, over to Dorelli. Dorelli kicks back over to Heifer. Back to Dorelli in the midfield. Dorelli tries to get up to his teammate and try to get across the middle, but saved quickly back over to Heifer's side on the right side of the field. And Marshall swings that one up high, and that was going to sail near the line. The official finally blows the whistle, as it got a little bit physical right there near the sideline of play. As the toss in comes here to the Rangers, still in their own defensive zone. That'll be a turnover on the play. Griffins will maintain possession once again. Again, looking to strike first like they've done many times this year so far. As Dorelli gets tangled up with Porter Milner, and the penalty will go against Westminster. Hot day out here once again as we're nearing the end of September. Fall is coming closer and closer as the nights here in Utah are getting chillier and chillier. But here in the afternoon and throughout the day, you got sunshine all day long, and the heat's still coming down here in the Rocky Mountain State. As of course, wildfires have been still a big issue here throughout the valley. Of course, out there in Harriman, a couple big fires that happened last weekend. So we're just trying to cool down any way we can here to get rid of these wildfires. Bridger Hanson's going to send this one up. He's got his teammate up there and Hazat, who bounces off. Good defense by the Regis Rangers, though, taking that one away with ease. Looking for a penalty, they don't get it. Great play by number 11, Ryan Ebert, with the takeaway. Dorelli gets it right back, though, for Westminster, though. As again, the Westminster Griffins, they return home after a thrilling performance as they hit the back of the net 7 times in a shutout victory in Lakewood, Colorado, as they knocked off Colorado Christian University to capture their first conference win of 2018 after tying here 2 days before against Dixie State. As we talked about, the 4-game homestand begins here with Regis as they captured their first conference win against UCCS in a 4-out shutout victory earlier this week. So far this season, the Griffins have scored 18 goals as a team, and Dorelli leads the way with 14 goals and 11 shots entering today's game. 4 goals, I should say. Zamit look to dial this up perfectly for potentially the first goal of today's game here at the corner. That one set up perfectly and just misses his teammate right in the middle of that scrum, as Regis played that one very well. Regis is averaging 11 shots per game and have 17 corner kicks so far this season. 8 different players have scored a goal this year, but only one of them has 2 on the year, which is Joe Mansfield. It's a player to watch for today, as this is a very diverse team where you can get different players scoring every game and you're still getting wins on your schedule. Heifer on the right side. Tries to get it in the middle once again, kicks it up there and batted away for a second at a play, but it comes right back to Amit. And a headshot just misses from Danny Dorelli, who is hand on face saying, "How did I miss that? He wishes he can have that one back." The game is 5th goal of the season. He has to wait a couple more tries. Once again, Dorelli in the mix right there, hustling his way to keep possession for Westminster. Griffins are a pesky team. Again, we talked about the Griffins winning ways. They started the year against St. Martin's with a 3-1 victory and Northwest Nazarene, both those 3-1 victories. And then they came home for 2 straight games where they won 2-1 against Texas A&M International and Notre Dame Denumar. And 2 great games, and ended up in their first conference game with a tie with the newest member of the RMAC, Dixie State. Dixie State's actually looking pretty good throughout all their sports. And they're going to be a great in-state rival to have here in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference for years to come. for the Westminster Griffins. Battle in front there, Regis trying to get it out as they just popped it up way high to the sky. And it'll poke out of bounds up here to the bleachers. As the newly fenced off bleachers here on Dumke Field. As of course, the first year officially D2, as there was a celebration a few weeks ago here for the campus of Westminster College. And this year's got a different kind of buzz around all the athletics because it's not that the last 3 years didn't matter. The last 3 years just prepared you for moments like this year where you're now eligible to make a conference championship chase and potentially go to the national tournament if you have the honor of winning in the conference tournament at the end of the regular season. Mid to line, here we go. Tossing coming here for the Rangers. Ryan Ebert will toss this one in. Gets it right back from the toss in. Kicked it around there. Trying to find a way to get it through the Griffins defense is Jake Brown. Finally kicked around all the way up top to your screen. Regis trying to find a way to bounce it off Westminster and possibly get a corner kick here, but they can't do it. Great defense by Westminster. Comes up and pokes that one right out of their feet. They tried to make a sneaky move against Westminster. Griffins were ready to go there, didn't fall for it. After this one, Regis will stay in the state of Utah as they'll have a Sunday matchup against Dixie State down in St. George. As they'll head south after today's game with Dangerelli trying to head south and score right now. As he gets knocked down, whistle blown. Penalty goes against Regis. So Regis started the year 0-2 with a 1-2 loss in both games as they fell to St. Leo University and Rollins College in their opening road trip, and then took on Metro State University of Denver, defeated them 2-1, and then finally got a tie against UCCS before shutting out South Dakota School of Mines 4-0. So it's a big game for both teams here. You want to get these tight victories, especially at home. If you're the Griffins, you want to protect home field any way you can. And for Regis, getting an early road win against a good team as against Westminster will boost your confidence for the rest of the year. Griffins get it across midfield once again. The Rangers are battling, though, to kick it back into the Griffins' defensive side. Finally, the Griffins get it back over, but lose it again. Regis playing tough defense. Frustrating the Griffins a little bit here with just about 13:30 left to play. Half number one, 0-0 the score. Regis with a great defensive stop once again, not allowing the Griffins to get a shot on goal. Richard Hansen just trying his best to get it back to Westminster, and he does. Great play right there by Hansen. As Dorelli will step out for a moment, as Alfaro checks in for Westminster. A little bit of a breeze coming in here now. I was trying to cool us down up here in the press box, as we're high in the stands here on Dumke Field, above Dumke Field, I should say. Has a good turnout once again, with friends, family, all around to support the Westminster Griffins. Obviously, a couple fans from Regis always come by and check in, being pretty close here. Regis gets blocked there. The Griffins don't allow anything easy there, as you saw Zach Nielsen block a shot for a moment. And don't forget, we got a doubleheader today, as we'll be inside after this game, inside the Bacon Fieldhouse. As they wanted a call, was Hazard did not get a penalty.
Well done. Hey, that's like the third time they kicked it out of the way, sir.
As the fans are starting to get a little riled up here as well. As obviously they're trying to get the calls for Westminster, help them out any way they can. That's what you want to hear from your crowd on home field. You know, the crowd has your back on every home field you're at. Gives you a good little home field advantage no matter where you'll be playing when you're the home team. That one just misses as Preston McLeese runs, and finally gets knocked down at midfield. Whistle blown, yep.
No intent for the ball there, sir.
As Preston nearly got very frustrated if he didn't get the call. Kind of getting mad at the player that was with him. Tangled him up and knocked him down, but he kept his cool after he heard a whistle blow in his favor. Ball's on the left side of the field, 0-0, 10 minutes to go here in half number one. Shot fired and just misses wide. It's a shot near the goal. As let's see if that will build some momentum for the Westminster Griffins.
Substitution for Regis, number 10, Luca Koder.
So with 9 minutes and change, both teams trying to find their groove here. Once again, women's soccer will be kicking off here at 4 o'clock, as they are at Black Hill State University in South Dakota, as they're looking to get a good road win in conference play. As we'll keep you updated on that game throughout to this game. Regis now looking to capitalize on a penalty that goes against Westminster of Christian Alfaro. He's going to go right in the middle up top near the box. Griffins help push that one back all the way back to midfield. Kicked up high, cross from Nico Denton. Gets it over to the left side, trying to get it over to his teammate, to Ebert. Ebert keeps it for a moment and sees this one bounce off Westminster. As you'll see, number 21, Porter Milner, the junior, toss this one in. A little flashy there, and Max Medley goes up and snatches it out of the air. And with a huge throw to the left side, gets it over to his teammate and Jake Jensen. As you see Josh Pittman, the head coach, Stephen Hoffer, and Joe Hickman, assistant coaches for the Griffins this year, up there helping out any way they can. Give them directions the best way they can, and finally gets over to Alfaro. Gets over to the left side, kicking around, trying to get it across.
Where's the advantage? Now you call it. Wow, sir.
And so far, Westminster has 7 shots. 3 of them have been on goal. No shots on goal for the Rangers, who have 3 shots so far today. Griffins have 2 corner kicks in today's action. So the Griffins are being the more aggressive team here in half number 1. Offensively, that is.
Boys, here we go.
Defensively, you might say Regis is being very more physical than Westminster is. As Jace Vance will come toss this one in.
Substitution for Westminster, number 18, Brody Nelson.
Let's go.
As Brody Nelson checks in for Westminster. And Caden Amano will take a seat. Brody Nelson with the possession now. He's been a key player for Westminster so far this year, returning here to the school where he was before he left on a mission. Preston McLeese got this one on the right side. Over to Meat Heifer. Heifer kicks it all the way to the far side looking for Nelson. So they'll bounce right in front of him. And Regis takes it away. As the Regis trying to get across midfield, instead Westminster will say, we'll take that right back.
Ball, Brody.
As Nelson gets bumped off track, whistle blown, and it'll be a call that goes against Westminster. 5 minutes and change left to play, 0-0 the score here on Dumpke Field, live on the RMAC Network or on our YouTube channel at WC Griffins. We appreciate you guys stopping by from east to west, north to south, making us a part of your day no matter where you may be watching and listening to us from. We appreciate you guys stopping by and tuning in here from Salt Lake City, Utah. As it's starting to cool down a little bit out here, it feels really nice here. As Max Medley will hang tight for a moment before he makes a decision on what he'll do in his box. That's a good kick. Nearly a box-to-box kick. Ooh, and that's a big physical play there as Westminster got bumped off track. That's Jake Jensen trying to get to the ball. Great defense by the Rangers. Alec Marshall trying to get it back across midfield, and he does. Has got it across midfield, he got it poked away and out of bounds with 4 minutes to go here, half number 1. 0-0 still the score. Remember, last time we were here, we went to overtime in a tie 1-1 game. I think the Griffins would have won in overtime again here on their home field. Would love to close this one out in regulation. And you got to find a way to get some momentum right here at the end of half number 1. Ebert kicks it all the way back to his goalkeeper in Moyer. Moyer kicks it out near the line where the benches are at. That's going to go right to head coach Josh Pittman and out of bounds. Again, give credit to Westminster's defense so far. Not allowing anything easy to come across for Regis. Ebert kicks it back over to his teammate behind the line. Kicks it up, trying to get it up to the midfielder. It's caught cleanly by John Halter. Halter kicks it over to the left side. Caught by his teammate in Klein. Klein on the left side now kicks it back over to Cawthor. Cawthor gets it back to the middle of Klein. Just kind of going back and forth, finally to the feet of Mansfield, who's got the 2 goals so far this year for the Rangers. But it wasn't enough. Griffins' defense pokes it out once again. Jensen going to get that one near the top of the left corner. Brings it back in towards the middle of the field. Gets it to Brody. Brody shoots, fires, blocked. And a corner kick coming for Westminster. Be the 3rd corner of today's game. And the Griffins use it, just kicking it. And try to set up the offense that way. Nothing special or fancy there as we're 90 seconds left to play here in half number 1. And the Rangers have an opportunity here for a moment. Shoots. Shot fired just over the bar. As Parker Klein, the sophomore, thought he had the first goal of today's game. And Max Medley saw that one coming with speed at him. And that was so close to hitting the back of the net, and that was so high that, I mean, it was just a few, maybe an inch or 2 away from touching the bar. Yeah, 0-0 still. Scoreless after 44 minutes as we're in the under a minute to play here in half number 1. Back to Halter. Fender kicks it back once again. Here we go, Griffins on the right side, Heifer with the ball. Shot fired from Chong. Chong looking for a whistle, can't get it. So the Griffins are, again, getting shots they like. And that's going to build some momentum to end half number 1. Going into half number 2. As Marshall will just hang on to it, as that's how we end half number 1. Griffins and Rangers even 0-0 live on Dumpke Field. We'll be back with halftime action coming up, second half action coming up next. Jensen's over to Alfaro. Alfaro goes left to right, gets it back to the middle. Shot and misses up high from a meat heifer. Was wide open. And great ball movement by Westminster. It just feels like any moment in time. Okay, thank you. As they're trying to continue working. To get the first goal of half number 2. Brody Nelson now's got it back. Nelson bouncing around, can't get it. Great defensive play taken away by Freddie Swallows. Gets it back over to Moyer. Moyer gets it back to Swallows. Here on the defensive end. Kicking it up, trying to get it across with Milner. Milner tiptoes the line and then gets it back to the defensive players of the Rangers. Now Westminster has had a couple key opportunities here. The Rangers haven't had much here in half number 2. That's a shot they get, and Medley hits that one away. Swats it away like a fly coming at you. Back to Peter. Peter tries to get it up to the middle. No whistle blown. Nice. Kicked away by Vance. Vance kicks it all the way across. Great defensive play by Westminster. Now they want to keep the ball on that side of the field. And they won't do it this time as the Rangers finally get it across with ease. But a miscommunication by the Rangers. Sees this one go up high to the sky over the Griffins. Alec Marshall comes away with it. Meat Heifer gets it from Marshall. Kicks it back over the middle to Hazat. They're just trying to get it across each and every time. Christian Alfaro. Again, we haven't seen Danny Dorelli here in half number 2 just yet. Leading goal scorer for Westminster. Zach Nielsen crosses. Over to Christian Alfaro. He's had speed going left to right now. Over to Meat Heifer. Heifer had a shot. Tosses it over to the right to Hazat. Back to Heifer. Heifer gets it once again. Going to the left side. Bounces around. Boom, boom, boom. Gets it up top. And Regis once again nearly takes it away. Jake Jensen's going to run and try to keep it alive for Westminster. Can't do it. Great play by Ethan Wilson. Tossed over to Eric Peter, who gets it back over to top of your screen. The Rangers still haven't got it across midfield just yet. Finally get it across, but it's going to go into the hands of, or feet, and then hands of Max Medley. He came up, looked like he was going to tap that one away. Instead, he picks it up with both hands and kicks it out. Back to Marshall in the middle of the field. Jensen on the left side comes away with it once more. Christian can't come away with it this time. But Brody Nelson can. He comes up and pokes it back over to Heifer. Heifer gets it back for Westminster. Again, the Griffins looking to strike first here once again. Heifer hits it up high and just wide. Be a shot wide of the goal. "15 minutes has nearly gone by here in half number 2. Not a lot of delays here in this one. Not a lot of penalties going against either team here in half number 2, as we had a couple penalties all first half, it felt like. Both teams playing a bit cleaner game. And the times goes by a little bit faster when there's no penalties and no goal scoring. As 15 minutes has flown by here in half number 2. Still scoreless. Hefford crosses midfield. Can he get it over to the right side? Shot, and that was going to be saved by Moyer. Still in play, though. And the official will give a penalty to Westminster as Christian Alfaro came in and basically shoved a Ranger down to the floor, or the turf, I should say. Penalty goes against Westminster. Moyer with a terrific save. Him and Medley both have had to go high to the sky here in half number 2 to make a save and keep the game scoreless. Off the skull to midfield. Brody Nelson battling. Brody Nelson battled with Joe Mansfield right there, and Brody got the call in his favor. Mansfield comes away and takes that one from the Griffins, though. It's just a good physical game here today. It's a fun game to watch, these two teams being very defensive-minded in today's action. Rangers are led by head coach Tony McCall, assistant coaches Taylor Diem, Mads Kazer, Scott Rose, and Thomas Gilhu are your assistant coaches for the Regis Rangers. And of course, once again, led by head coach Tony McCall, who's looking for his second conference win of 2018 with this team. Regis gets it across midfield and then sees this one sail from the mid point of the field all the way out of bounds with 28 minutes left to play.
Substitutions for Regis.
And I think if both teams must have told the officials that they probably won't do a water break, as I mean, it's not as hot as it's been in the past. As again, we're near the end of September, as it's starting to get a little bit cooler down here in the day. As Danny Girelli checks in, right when he checks in, he gets knocked down. But he gets right back up. And don't forget, you can follow the team and to get all the news and information on the social media outlets. For any sport here at Westminster, you want to know news, schedules, player information, you can find all that at westminstergriffins.com. Follow the teams on Facebook at WC Griffins. Just hit the like button on the Facebook page for the Westminster Griffins. As a shot is just going to be missed off the head and goes just wide from Nielsen. And so close. Again, the Griffins just feel like, it feels like any moment now they're going to hit the back of the net the way they're playing. It's a good high shot. I was going to go all the way to the far side, looking to get to Jake Jensen. Can't get it to him. Jace Vance puts that one back down to the turf. Looks for a meat heifer. Is going to just sail over him barely, and then finally gets brought back down by Luca Cawthor. And finally gets it up to his teammate who gets knocked down. That's number 23, Ethan Wilson, who takes a fall. Regis in the blue dark jerseys. It's got to be hot for Regis here in Salt Lake. But usually the Griffins are the ones wearing darker jerseys, as traditionally the home team is in dark jerseys in soccer. Wilson kicks it up top as they reset the offense for the Rangers. Still down there, and just no one in sight as you've seen the look from Wilson saying, where was everybody at? As the Griffins coming with speed once again on the right side of the field. Girelli was right there, and he can't get it. The Griffins are so close every time. As Girelli has had a couple key opportunities, and it's just building little momentum each and every time they get closer to the goal. Looking to hit the back of the net here soon. It just feels like it's coming any moment the way the Griffins are playing. And if you're a Regis fan, that's not what you want to hear. This Regis can't get anything going offensively as they turn it over once again in their own zone as Jake Jensen here comes on the left side, but he loses it. But they get it right back for a moment. Regis bumps it off a few different Griffins and finally gets it across midfield. But another error against the Rangers gives the Griffins possession once more with 24 minutes to go. Can Regis find a way to get some momentum right here, try to get a shot on goal? They've had a hard time doing it against Westminster. Nielsen bumps it out, gets it up to Heffer. Heffer's got speed. He can go with speed across midfield, and he does. Looking for someone to run with him. Gets it over to Girelli. Girelli's got this one on the right side. Girelli's had a couple key opportunities, looking for the 5th goal of the year. Can he get it right here? And Jake Jensen will lose it. But it'll be another corner opportunity for Westminster. Again, 15 shots for Westminster so far in the game, 4 of them on goal. 7 shots for Regis, 2 on goal. This is going to be the 4th corner kick for Westminster as the Rangers have had 0 today. Official gets everyone in their right spots. Amit Heffer kicks this one up. That's a good one. Header hits the back of the net for a goal for Westminster. How about the defenseman, number 3, Bridger Hansen? He hits the back of the net with the header, and that puts the Griffins on top 1-0, 22-23. And I told you, it just felt like the Griffins were going to find a way to strike the way they've been playing. The defense for Regis has been kind of on their toes, and it's been hard to stay standing up straight. Finally, they fell down. The Griffins found a way to capitalize on the corner kick, and they get the lead, 1-0. Mee Heffer with the assist from the corner. And with 22 minutes left to play, Westminster looking to play tough defense and keep this a 1-0 lead in their favor. But now it's up to the Rangers to try to play a little bit with more intensity than they've been playing offensively, because they just can't get nothing going against Westminster. Every time they get across midfield, their shots are not getting anywhere near where Max Medley's at. So the 5th shot on goal was the charm for Westminster. Bridger Hansen, the sophomore from Salt Lake City, Utah, played at Salt Lake Community College for a little bit and Brighton High School. Makes his way here to Westminster College. Happy to have him. Happy to hit that header for a goal for West Mini. Jace Vance got this one now. He's getting bumped off track everywhere he goes. Finally turns and finds his teammate back behind the line. Gets it to Marshall. Hey, Griffins are saying let's calm this one down as Hansen gets it back for a moment. Amit Heffer will lose this one. Great defense by Regis right there. Now can they turn defense into a positive offensive scene right here? Regis, every time they get a steal just beyond midfield line, they kind of rush the ball like they did just there again, and it kind of gets them scrambled. So entering the final 20 minutes of regulation. Again, the Griffins did go to overtime against Dixie State last time we were on this field. As an opportunity nearly went really well for the Rangers, as a Ranger fell down and a Griffin fell down. The referees let him play. As Regis will get their first corner opportunity right now with Porter Milner here in the corner. First opportunity is a good one, right in the middle of the field, but Griffins knock it way back to the back end of the line. That's a hard shot. Medley will let that one sail over his head and hit the back of the cage. As Sam Gardner shot that one pretty high, as Katie Amano checks in for Alec Marshall. Alec Marshall has had a good game for Westminster. The senior will take a seat as Katie Amano checks back in for the first time since half number 1. Jace Vance keeps it alive over to Jake Jensen. And I think Jensen hit that one out of bounds. Let's see what the official says. They're going to say it's Westminster possession. As Vance will toss it in. Get it back over to Brody Nelson. Brody hits that one up high. Eric Colbert tried to poke that one to the side. And there's going to be an opportunity coming up here for Westminster for Eric Colbert. The officials are discussing what just occurred. And they're going to give Westminster a penalty shot right here with Amit Heffer to get a 2-0 lead at 18:09. Amit Heffer's got 2 goals on the year so far. Heffer and Moyer. Heffer shoots, fires and scores. He might say easy money on that one. His 3rd goal of the year comes on a penalty kick and puts the lead back up 2-0 for Westminster. So good job there by Westminster. Capitalize on a error by the Rangers. Now the Rangers find themselves in a big hole here with 18 minutes to go. But they say you never say it's over till you hear the final buzzer. Amit Heffer runs back there for the Griffins, trying to keep it alive in their zone. Can't do it. Finally, Regis gets it across midfield. Poked around up high, still battling towards the midfield line. Finally taken away by Westminster's Brody Nelson. Nelson to Dorelli on the right side. Dorelli's going to hang tight for a minute. Makes a shifty move, goes to the right end of the line. And the baseline can't do it. Finally to the feet of Wilson for Regis. Wilson still battling with Heifer right there.
All right, who's gonna step in? We'll get it, boys.
As another penalty goes against the Rangers. As that's Brody Nelson shaking up for a minute with 16:43 left to play. Clock stops for a minute with Nelson just walking it off. Amit sends it trying to get it to Dorelli, blocked in the air. And that was a kick whiff and miss, and nearly Bridger Hansen nearly got a cleat to the nose right there. But Regis comes away with it, and that's going to be a penalty against Amit. Heifer kind of grabbed the defender and pulled him down. As he crossed midfield, taking a fall there was number 21, Porter Milner. And that's Eric Colbert who tries to save it for Westminster. And he just can't get the hustle play going. .45 on the clock. Griffins on top by 2.
Shout out to Skyler, he's watching. Skyler. His brother's on the team. Justice.
As we want to give a shout out to Skyler, brother of Westminster's Justice on the soccer team here, and joining us in the broadcast. We appreciate you stopping by and tuning in to today's action with the Griffins on top 2-0 with about 15 minutes left to play here in the second half of action. And of course, as always, great crew we have with us working the games with Devin and Adrian in the cool AC producer booth today inside, as me and Noah out here running the camera for us out here today, out here in the press box. And it's like, again, it's starting to cool down a little bit up here. It's kind of hot earlier when we first got things up and running, but a little bit of a breeze coming through now, cooling things down as Max Medley puts the ball down with 14:29 and will kick it out. As that last shot by Freddie Swallows went wide right off a header. As again, two teams undefeated here in the RMAC, Colorado School of Mines and MSU Denver. The Griffins will not see either of those teams until October 5th when they take on the School of Mines of South Dakota. As a little bit starting to get a little bit chippy here on the field. As the official's saying, let's get the ball back and stop the clock for a moment. As the official's saying, 2, I believe that is Joe Mansfield. That is who it is. So the official saying you can't lead your head into a player like that. As Jace Vance kicks it all the way over to Bridger Hansen, who sees this one bounce off his foot, and that's going to take a Regis bounce to the left side. Regis shoots, save Medley. Easy for Medley to save that one. As down goes Westminster. Amano, who actually took a tumble there. He kind of rolled with it. He looks to be okay, shaking up for a moment. That's a great job by Amit. Gets up Jake Jensen on the left side. Can he hang on to it, keep it in play? He can. Jensen looks in the middle. Amano shoots, scores! Caden Amano strikes for the third time this year for Westminster. And the third goal is on the board for the Griffins. And just like that,
Goal for the Griffins,
Westminster
number 8, Caden
is
Amano.
back on top. And controlling this game once again with the 3-0 lead. Back on top by 3.
In for the Griffins, number 7, Hunter Cohn.
So Hunter Cohn checks in for Westminster. As there's 12:30 left to play in the 3-0 lead, and running camera and doing some color commentating with me is Noah. Noah, how's it looking up there today?
Pretty good game. It's nice to see Westminster get on board after the first half. It's a good physical game. Enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been a very physical game here in the last few minutes of play here on Dumke Field. 12 minutes to go, 3-0 lead now. But yeah, it was 0-0. Things have really shifted fast for the Westminster Griffins to get 3 straight goals, including a penalty kick from Amit Heifer. And you can see the physicality right there. The officials always have to step in and say something to both players during this game so far. But from Westminster's point, they're having a great season, and they're not letting anybody push them around. It's been great for Westminster as we got another stoppage here with 11:55 left to play, as the Rangers kind of feel beaten up almost, and it's almost like they're defeated already, down 3-0 with 12 minutes to play. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy things happen here. Regis can't, and as for Westminster, you don't want to give up anything right now. You want to keep your pedal to the metal, as they would say, and just continue doing what you're doing.
It's always frustrating to lose, especially in
As that was a great save by Max Medley right there. The Griffins have only one shutout so far this year, and that was in their last game, a 7-0 defeat. Looking for back-to-back games with a shutout. That would be a good thing to have on your resume here in the start of this RMAC season. And the Griffins, this is kind of a different team that I've seen in the past, and it's kind of a team that's playing really well together, and they don't really rely on one player. Danny really does have 4 goals this year, but now you got Amano and Amit Heifer both with 3. So it's a really well-balanced team I've been seeing for the Griffins so far this year. There's a corner kick coming here for the 5th time for Westminster. Westminster's got 7 shots on goal so far out of their 18 total shots. 3 assists in the game on their 3 goals. Looking to possibly get another goal right here with the clock nearing 10 minutes left to play. What do you think about Bridger getting that? The defender getting a good goal to start the game. That was actually Bridger Hansen. Something you don't really see defenders score a lot, but Hansen was in the right place at the right time.
He was mainly
Mhm.
You can tell just looking around here. He's got a lot of height. And where he was when he was fine, he had a lot more space to move. He ended up getting above everybody else.
Regis again trying to get this ball across midfield any way they can, and trying to get some kind of momentum on their side here, with just under 10 minutes left to play.
They can't hear it. That doesn't. I don't think it's plugged in.
I'll try to get you, because I added your mic. As 9 minutes left to play here on Dumpke Field, Griffins looking for back-to-back victories in conference play, looking to get back-to-back shutouts. Again, they've scored 10 goals now in their last 2 games, which is unheard of.
What was it, 6 goals?
7 last game.
7 goals in the last game. 3 hit. The offense is
Looking good for Westminster.
seems like the team chemistry is really high as well. That's also a bonus. People playing together as a team. Hard for Westminster.
8:15 left to play. Griffins on top 3-0. All 3 goals scored by different players for Westminster. Like I said, you want a well-balanced attack, and you got to love the way Westminster's came to play here in half number 2 after being 0-0 after 45 minutes of play here in Salt Lake City, Utah. As Westminster, Dumpke Field, 3-0 lead, 7 minutes, and change on the clock here. Griffins looking just playing kind of like a prevent defense you'd see in football, just kind of waiting their turn, and hopefully everything goes their way here in half number 2.
Number 11, Brigham Jackson. Number 16, Adir Hazoud. Substitutions for Regis. Number 3, Colton Hefty. Number 12, Eric Peter.
Really, coach just wants to a couple offensive pushes that they can take back to
Max Medley again in goal. Griffin's got a good luxury of a couple good goalies that they can play in each game, where in case someone gets injured. Regis trying to strike here is coming near the box. Defense trying to poke it out, and they finally do. Katie Amano gets it out of that zone as the Griffins good thing the Griffins didn't let up, but that could have been really positive for the Rangers.
those long balls haven't been really getting through, and it's what you can see from the defense here. And a note about those goalkeepers, Landon is actually my neighbor.
You gotta love having a neighbor that's a goalkeeper.
Gus Powell is one of my neighbors at the draw. He's a good neighbor, not too loud.
Gus Pyle, obviously we've seen him a couple times during this preseason, so like the Griffins do have a good luxury of a whole bunch of different goalkeepers. As the Griffins now trying to just sail to a 3-0 victory, as Hunter Cohn kind of got hit low, as quarterbacks don't like to get hit low like that, but Hunter Cohn took a shot right there and luckily gets up, and he's kind of gingerly walking around. That's a tough play for Hunter to deal with. As Regis once again, they're trying to get in there. Griffins, if you're Westminster, you don't want to allow anything right here. You want to complete the shutout if you're Westminster, because it's going to build more momentum going into the season.
Yeah, and if you see these guys.
Substitution for Regis, number 19, Nick Porter.
I mean, the next time they could see Regis would be possibly in the RMAC tournament that will begin on October 30th, as it's kind of crazy to believe we're almost nearly halfway done with this season, as the Griffins only have 5 home games remaining for men's soccer coming up this season, as we will end the final home game will be October 21st against CSU Pueblo. As again, we'll be back here Sunday with UCCS coming to town. That will be the second game of the 4-game homestand for the Westminster Griffins here in Salt Lake City.
They said they can't hear me. And back here, this is camera guy Noah filling in for David for a minute. Westminster taking a 3-0 lead. Oh, ball off the face. Good ball control by number 16. Westminster's pushing up. They're looking for a 4th goal here. Shot ripped from outside the box. A little bit wide. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Skyler. He just had knee surgery today. He was on the soccer team last year, taking a semester off out there in Boise. Hope the knee heals up, buddy. Defense almost lets it go. An attack in there. Ball stays in play. Right down the line. Ooh. Regis pushing here. Can't seem to find the open lanes to get the ball into some space so their forwards can take a shot.
Come on, nothing, boys, nothing, come on.
Cross comes in and deflected. And it's just kicked out, and that's over the fence. Goodbye, ball. Ball comes in for a throw, and the flip, and in the box, but cleared by Westminster. And they're not letting any of these crosses come in, which is what you want to see if you're Westminster. Cleared out, fighting for the ball is number 11. Brody Nelson with the ball. Finds some open space to Adair Hazard. And he moves it, moving the ball well, but kick towards the keeper. The ball gets cleared out. About a minute 40 left here until Westminster gets a shutout and the win tonight. Westminster playing some tight defense to keep the ball away from their defending box. A lot of physical play here between these two teams, and shot from outside and easy for Max Medley. He deflects it, and ooh, almost a chance for Regis. There's some good sportsmanship there by Max. You like to see that. He's been brilliant in goal tonight, not allowing a lot of chances, killing balls in the air. Just what you want to see. And that will do it for my time here. commentating, so I'm going to pass it back to David to clean out the game.
With the final 20 seconds, thanks Noah for that. Noah getting a little bit of broadcasting experience up here in the booth with me. There's a chance throughout the year we'll try to get these other mics working. We'll try to get 2 of us working the games together. We got volleyball action coming up next inside the Bacon Fieldhouse. We're going to step inside. We're going to be back on the RMAC network. But for us right now, the Griffins are going to come away with back-to-back conference victories in shutout form as they knock off Regis Rangers 3-0 here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're going to say so long and goodbye as we got to hustle inside. We'll see you guys back inside in the Bacon Fieldhouse. Volleyball action next on the RMAC network.